Hey, thanks for tuning back in. I'm here with Steph, and I told you a little about her earlier. And Steph has a few books here, and we talked about that earlier. It's nothing personal; it's just business. And what's the first one you wrote, Steph?
The only way is up.
I like that. I like that too. Well, let's look at this. I like that too. And now,
I'll get into that dress again one day.
yeah, we'll talk about it. And I told you a little about Steph. Originally from the West End.
My mom is from the West
Your
End.
mom?
I'm from Medford.
Medford, right.
So
But the family. I'm talking the family.
My father's from the North End. My mother's
Right.
from the West End.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the family first.
Yes.
And so tell us more about your father and growing up in the North End.
Well, my father lived on Hanover Street, where all the other Riazzini
Yeah.
lived. They're from Riazzi, and that's what they did when they came over from Italy and Sicily. They actually lived on parts of the street with their family and the other folks from the other paesani.
Yeah.
And they lived close together. So a lot of them, so like the Lupos, they're from Riazzi.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of them from Pizza Prasia down that end too. So yeah, my father grew up in the North End, and I grew up sleeping over my great grandmother's house. Once my grandmother moved out, and I would go. My great grandmother lived upstairs from St. Agrippina, and so I'd spend summers there, and my father would drop me off. I would be 10, 12 years old. My father would drop me off at the top of Hanover Street. He'd go, "Don't go down the other end," and so he's like, "Stay there," and I love the North End, and I love it so much. I feel like it's home. It's like a hood for me, even though I'm from Medford.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Your roots are in the North End.
They are. I mean, my cousins all grew up there. All my father's side of the family, and then later on, my Uncle Charlie from the West End. They moved there when they were first married. They moved to the North End, and I just had a lot of family there, so it was home.
Yeah, well, that was the same thing with me. My mother and father were both from the North End.
Mm-hmm.
And Aunt Jeannie is my godmother.
Right.
So there's a family connection.
Absolutely.
And it's so interesting. I read your book. I see what you're doing now, the Just Steph show.
Yep.
And you're getting back out there. And I know,
That's right.
What'd you have before? A radio show, right?
I did have a radio show in Atlanta, but I do want to say when it comes to all of us, our family are friends and friends are family.
Right.
So, it's all the same. So for me, it felt like family, even if they were not blood relatives.
Right, yeah.
So, and that's how it is like with the godparents and all of that. So,
Exactly,
yeah.
because Jeannie and Charlie I grew up with, they were like auntie and uncle.
Yep.
And then, all their kids that grew up, they were like cousins.
Absolutely.
Anthony, Jeannie, Jackie, all of them, So it's nice. It's a nice community, and it's still one of the best little Italy's. And I've been all over the country. It's still one of the best. Even when my friends come up, they're impressed with the neighborhood.
Yeah, it is a family feel. And I've spent extended time in Sicily, and when I really immersed in the culture there, I noticed that everything that I was talking about to my clients and audiences, I was telling them about this is how we should be living, and I said, oh my gosh, this is what I'm teaching on steroids.
Yeah.
It's so much more, and we're actually a little watered down in America.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
However, the community is so important, and we don't realize it because people have separated from their communities. And our close-knit community and the community that I built in Sicily, what happens is when you have those tight-knit communities that help sustain you, they fill you up. You tend to not look for love in all the wrong places.
Mm-hmm.
You have that support. And there's a little town in Pennsylvania that Malcolm Gladwell wrote about in Outliers, where they all came from Italy, and they went to this one town, and they weren't dying at the same rate as Americans. They were eating the same, smoking cigarettes, all of that, but it was the community that brought the stress level down.
Yeah, I think that's,
You know, when you're sick, I'll bring you over a little macaroni.
Yeah.
You know, oh look, you know, I made eggplant. You want the? I actually was thinking about that today when I said, I got some eggplant in the freezer. Should I bring it to work right now?
You should have brought it over.
But that's how we think, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and so we support one another, and when you have that support, we take it for granted.
Yeah.
And when you have that support, you can make better choices because you're not lacking. You're not lacking love or attention or encouragement. You have that from your community.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I love Sicily so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm dying to go there. I'm a quarter Sicilian.
Mm-hmm.
But when my mother got remarried to my father Santo, he's full Sicilian. So my brother Carl's 3/4. My mother's half Sicilian. So I really grew up in a Sicilian household. You know, and the food, and
right?
everything. You know, it was really nice, and we'll never have that again. What I had growing up with my parents. My mother cooked every night, Sunday dinner, gravy every Sunday. I mean, you know, never missed a beat.
That's it.
And that's how it was.
Well, when I came back from Sicily, I came back and I said to I said it to my mother, my sister. I said, what happened to our family? Why isn't anybody doing this?
Yeah.
And they both said it 2 different times. You laughed. They blamed me. There's a whole family here.
Yeah,
I moved to
I know.
Atlanta for 27 years to raise my family.
Right.
They blamed me, but I said, all right, I'm back. We're doing this.
Right.
And about once a month,
Mm-hmm.
I sent a group text to the kids, a group text to all my cousins that are my age, and whoever else, my aunts, my mother and everybody. And I said, all right, I'm doing Sunday dinner, and the kid's like, Auntie, can I bring my friend, Auntie? And I said, of course, bring whoever you want. Everybody's welcome here.
Yeah.
For Sunday dinner. When you do that, everybody wants to be there. The kids love it.
Yeah. Well, that's what makes it familiar. I mean, listen, it was the Sunday dinners, and if I brought friends to the house, my mother would take food out. Everybody had to eat. If they were hungry enough, they had to sit at the table and eat. There was a culture there that's missing now.
Yeah.
It's gone now.
It is.
And my kids basically grew up in Mafia.
Right.
And I had a nice house up the heights up there.
Oh, nice.
So they grew up over there. They weren't in the North End really, unless they went to visit their cousins.
Right.
So they didn't get to see and do what we did.
They missed out. I tried with my kids in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And they were always bringing their friends over
Yeah.
to eat. There was always people at the house.
Right.
And I remember pulling up one day after school. It was after school, and 2 of my son's friends were there. My son was playing football, and he said, "We figured that you'd have food here. This is one of the kids, and these kids they're American kids."
Yeah.
And I said, "Of course, I made meatloaf last night. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's eat."
We feed everybody.
Yeah.
That's the culture. That's
So,
what you have to do.
Well, the people don't realize that, and I talk about this in the book, the dinner table it's like magic. It's the place, it's like a sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fighting at the table, there's no, you have your manners, but what you're doing is you're learning how to communicate with others. You're learning how to listen. You're learning how, today the kids don't sit down with their parents. We sat when our parents' friends came over, they had, like Sebastian Maniscalco, God,
Yeah.
what are you doing here? Come on in. Yeah. That's what happened. You want some Sanka? They come in, you sit down, and you sat with them. We learned their sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
We learned the music they loved.
Yeah.
We learned, what was appropriate, because if you were not appropriate,
Oh yeah.
You were getting this across the table.
Yeah.
And and we learned who to trust and how and why, and because we were there in this community, sitting around the table around food.
Mm-hmm.
It's lost.
Yeah.
Lost.
It is. It is.
It's terrible.
And I know my past, and it was wild there for a little while, especially in the '90s, and I wasn't home that much, and my kids missed out on that. So we really didn't have that bonding every night at the dinner table. They were so used to me not being there. When I was there, they just doing their own things. They just get used to you not being there. And then you just can't expect them to jump right back in order. Which I used to try to do with them.
So if I was coaching you,
Yeah.
I would say something like, yes, there is a disconnect there, but you can repair that.
Yeah.
It can be done. It takes a little bit more because you don't have longevity, that time together. One of my nieces, who comes to Sunday dinner, we hadn't seen her since she was a baby. She was one of my cousin's kids that doesn't associate with us, and she wants to be there. But we're having to learn and to get to know. She's getting to know us, but of course, we want you here, but it takes a little bit. So you can do it. You can repair those. It takes time. And here's what happens in Sicily. I can tell you this right now. Nobody says, I gotta go. Nobody says, oh, I'm busy. If somebody, one of my friends called me, they were waiting for me in the piazza, and she said, I'm here, dear. And I said, I'm a few minutes late. Okay, no worries. I'll wait for you. No one's agitated. No one's stressed out.
Yeah, it's just relaxed.
Yeah, and they'll come. I invite these Sicilians to my house, and whatever house I rent when I go there, and they sit around my table for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Talking. Nobody says I gotta run. Oh, I gotta pick up my kids. There's a soccer game.
Yeah.
No, you're relaxing. Everybody's sitting back. That's that, and nobody does that, and we've lost that. You need time. Yeah. And I can promise you this: if you spend time in the right places, everything else will be easier. You'll find that you'll have more time. It's like people who don't want to meditate or pray in the morning; they don't have time. If they get that done, they don't realize the focus that they'll have all day.
Yeah, oh no, I know, I'm a firm believer in that. I used to pray 3 times a day, And I gotta tell you, I've been a little lax with the praying lately. I haven't been really doing that. I've been so involved with everything that I'm doing. But every day I would pray in the morning. And I do believe that gets your mindset for the day.
Absolutely.
And it's very good for you. It's very positive.
Well, it shows gratitude. Gratitude. Thank you for this. Thank you. I'm awake and breathing.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. And whatever. If you don't want to say God, you want to say the divine spirit, higher power, whatever you want to, whatever works for you. But
right.
That gratitude to the infinite Creator is it actually reaps so much more.
It does.
And that's where generosity flows. I mean, Sicilians, and you know this, we're all generous.
Yeah, very generous.
We give people the shirt off our back.
Yeah. We're brought up like that. Yeah.
Well, you know why? You can only do that if you're grateful.
That's
Thank
true.
God for what I have.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank God. You can't give what you don't even realize you have.
Yeah, I'll possess. Yeah, I know.
So it's the way we were brought up. It's important. So get that meditation in the morning.
Yeah, I know. I got to start doing that again.
Yeah.
I will. I'm going to start doing that.
So what? I listen to guided meditations. They help me focus on getting my getting aligned, and I love it. So
I used to pray in the morning. Well, you got to remember, I had 20 years to do this.
No, we prayed before meals.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm eating.
Yeah. I pray in the morning. I speak in tongues, and then in the afternoon, I set an hour aside to pray in tongues.
I can pray in tongues.
And I put an hour aside, I would pray in tongues. And it's a different schedule.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And I prayed before I go to bed. And it was really nice. And it made me peaceful and calm me down.
Well, I think when you're on that side, I think you need that.
Yeah,
it's either that or you turn to, you get worse.
Well, yeah, especially someone like me, maybe Paulie had violent tendencies years ago, and it just helps. It makes you more peaceful. When you got God inside of you, got that love inside of you from Him, there's nothing like that. I used to be very impatient, upset all the time. I wanted people to confirm to me. I didn't want to confirm to them. And it just changed everything. It just changed my whole attitude with everything.
It's the peace is something that is an eternal gift that we all have. However, we give it away.
Yeah, it is.
We give it away. If you don't have peace, it's because you've given it away. You've given it over to somebody or something else.
It's a state of mind, like I said. You know, I wanted people to conform to me what I wanted to do. I was a boss. I wanted it my way. I didn't want to hear anything
Right.
else, even if they were right or wrong.
Right.
You know, but you learn through the Bible, through the peace, through the prayer, the meditation. You know, to start to conform to people instead of having people conform to you. When you can start understanding people, you know, you could overlook a lot of things with them and a lot of their faults.
Well, that's very true. When you can look at somebody and see their brokenness,
Yeah.
that is, no matter how rotten they are,
Yeah.
you know, it's easier.
Right.
It doesn't mean you have to hang around them. It doesn't mean you have to put yourself in a position where you're being mistreated. But knowing somebody's brokenness,
Yeah.
and knowing and understanding where they're coming from helps. It helps to have that tolerance, and it helps not to upset you, because here's what happens. This is what I'm going to tell you what you're doing. What happens is when you let the circumstances and people agitate you, believe it or not, you're a victim. Now you're in victim mode because somebody's doing something to you, and you would have never thought that back in those days. No, not me. I'm the one. You're my victim,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what was happening to you, because you're inside. You're the victim, and you're being upset, or your karma, your being is being upset by whatever's going on around you. That means you're a victim of that, instead of taking your power back and not letting anything else control you and your emotions.
I got me. Yeah, I understand.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So
You're right.
you would have never admitted it back then. It's
No.
he's in charge.
Pride and ego, forget about it. Paulie would tell you how bad I used to be. Yeah, Paulie? Oh, yeah, you don't want to say.
He's like Ed McMahon over there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's on the. I think he's becoming the star of the show. I'm the sidekick now, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's the best.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a fun show.
It is. It's a nice show. We get a lot of good people coming on.
I saw you had some.
we're trying,
Did you have some ex-gangsters on here too?
Oh, constantly. You know what's funny? Yesterday we were out with some Soprano guys
Oh, really?
in Somerville. Yeah, we had lunch with them. And,
Nice.
they're coming here next week.
Fun.
You know, I told them I'll cook for them.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah, I love that.
I'll
That's
cook
awesome.
for them. They'll come over, we'll hang out, and then maybe do a show this week or next week with them.
How fun. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, nice guys. They're really good guys. You know.
Do you know Mike Marino? He's the comedian from New Jersey. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know him.
I don't know. Sounds familiar.
He did a whole skit on how the American president needs to be an Italian, because with like Osama bin Laden, they took them, send all this one that way. He goes, 2 guys from Jersey, they'll be back in 24 hours.
yeah.
Osama, how you doing? He does the whole skit. It's hilarious. He's been on my show. He's a funny guy. He's great. He did I think he performed last year at San Gennaro Feast.
Oh, did he? Was he
Yeah.
at the feast?
Yeah. He's a funny guy. But
No, I heard all the feasts are back on in the neighborhood.
thank God. Oh my gosh, thank God. Well, because I belong to St. Joseph Society and
Yeah.
Madonna del Cava.
Oh, Madonna del Cava. That's I did some work down there for them. with
Yeah.
My father.
Yeah.
Years ago.
So, but St. Joseph is my family's from Riesi.
Yeah.
So that my great grandfather was one of the founders of the St. Joseph Society. In fact, his picture's in the mayor's office with the other founding members in Riesi. And my other great grandfather was one of the founders of the Fisherman's Club,
Oh, all right.
because they're Shakadanis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Shakas are in there
Yes.
because my aunt Barbara was a member there.
Right. And so
Toscano. Yeah.
oh, Toscano. See, now my grandmother's a Toscano, but I don't think it's the same family because they're from Riesi.
Oh, okay.
But I belong to Madonna del Cava because it's fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. I used to go down there all the time.
I'll tell you, I went to Pizza Pizzeria. I went to the shrine.
Oh, you did?
Yes, and when I tell you, it was locked. This is a great story. It was locked. So there was a little building behind it. I knocked on the door. A little priest came to the door, and I told him I'm from Boston.
Mm-hmm.
I belong to the society in Boston. Can I please see the Madonna?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, told me to go back to the front of the church, and this little grandma, with the house coat on,
Mm-hmm.
Came to the door, opened the door. She was so cute, and she was telling us all about how people from Massachusetts helped fund the restoration. And she was telling us all about it. My driver, Chichio, was there, and I said, "Can I have a few minutes? I'd like to just pray." And I sat down. I knelt down, and I just the emotions overwhelmed me.
Really?
And the tears were just flowing and flowing and flowing. And then I was done, and I got up, and I looked. Chichio was crying. She was crying. Everybody was crying.
Really? Huh?
Yes. It was so amazing. Like, it was just something came over us. It was so amazing to be there.
Yeah, that's not now. See, when we were kids in the neighborhood, we liked the feast.
Yeah.
But the more they went on, I didn't like it. See, my grandmother was what was grandma? Saint Anthony, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a big feast. It's a
yeah,
big
well,
feast. It's
we
hot.
would, we owned Michelangelo Street. It was at that end, and all the family used to come up.
Mhm.
And strangers, everybody. I mean, we had maybe 400 or 500 people for the day.
Right.
The Roma Band used to come up,
Right.
Viva Luisi,
Yeah.
and I loved it for my grandmother. That's the one I enjoyed because we had our own little feast.
Right.
But the rest of them started becoming a nuisance.
Yeah.
All the people running around, it's tourists. I just didn't like it.
Well, it became a little bit more commercial, and
yeah.
it wasn't the same as, it wasn't just all of us.
Right, exactly.
And
exactly.
I remember my father working a feast one St. Joseph's feast with Victor Pascatilli.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they were doing, selling sausages or something.
Yeah.
And they were there all, they probably just were crazy all weekend long, didn't come
Yeah.
home, all of that. So
Oh, yeah.
nuts. But those were, it was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
But I have found that being part of the societies has given me a little community that's like
Yeah.
what we grew up with. And I would go to the St. Joseph's Club on a Sunday and have Sunday dinner with them. Like, just come down the club, and because a bunch of them would do Sunday dinner, and I would go down there, and I just enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully it's all going to open back up.
It's nice, I love it for the tourists when they come in. It's something to experience. that,
Right.
And it's nice for them to see
Right.
that. But being a resident there at the time, it was like,
Well, you have everybody sort of invading. You can't get a restaurant. You can't go into a restaurant. You can't get a reservation. You can't, because it's
No.
crowded. Yeah.
Well, I could back then, but I couldn't now though. I can't even get my car parked over there anymore. But that doesn't matter.
You lost your status.
Yeah,
But you gained status in the universe,
I like that.
right?
Yeah. Write that
That's
down.
even-
Nicole.
That's more important.
Yeah.
People don't realize it.
No, it is.
Listen, I'm going to tell you the truth.
I never want to be that man again.
No, and I'm going to be honest with you. You can either align in this life or in the next. And if you have to do it in the next life, it's not going to feel good.
No, it's not.
So, you have, so doing it here, even though it doesn't conform to, what people think is one of the norms,
Yeah.
that it doesn't matter. It's really hard. It's like, when in The Godfather 3, when he goes, just when I got out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah,
Well, that's what people want to do. They want to pull you back down to where they remember you.
Yeah.
It makes them uncomfortable that you are a different person, because not only do they say, well, I don't know this person, this isn't the person I know, they start looking at themselves. What's wrong with me? And they don't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that.
That's right. Yeah, right, 100%.
So
Right, 100%.
that's why they want just when you're going up, but after a while, after you get through the growing pains, it all evens out and it's fine. It all works out, and then you start to attract amazing people into your life that bring value and encourage you, that community that you're looking for. And then some of the people that you still love and want in your life, they'll be like, oh, that's just how they are. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be okay.
A lot of people that we're around, we see a lot of people all the time. They still respect me as the old Bobby, and that's still okay, you know. I try to stay away from that gangster element,
Right.
but there's so many people we grew up, Medford, they're not that,
It's
we
true.
got so many friends, and which is nice still to have. But there are people that still remember the old me, and they'll never get that out of their mind.
Right.
They'll never believe how I turned my life around and what I'm doing. I mean, who would know 25 years ago that I'd be doing this? I really enjoy it. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy being the person that I am now. And me and Paulie talk about it all the time. I mean, I can put my head on the pillow at night and I'm not going to worry about the feds coming at me or who's looking to kill me.
Right. I know you got to sit in the right spot in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is it?
Yeah.
I got to face the door. Why? Who's coming in?
You never know. You never know, right?
Oh my God, it's crazy. See, you know what?
It's either me or Paulie facing the door.
Yeah, right. Think about all that energy. Just having to think about that and not having to think about that and just being able to enjoy. That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Nobody realizes, and I know you're a counselor and I know all the things that you do and I know you understand. Nobody realizes the stress of being a mob boss is 24/7. You
Oh
never
yeah,
rest.
you sleep with one eye open.
It's always a worry. You don't know who's getting pinched, who's getting killed, who's coming after you. It's always a worry. It was a terrible life. We're trying to tell the viewers that now. I mean, from our experiences and what we went through, and then gone from my family for 20 years. I mean,
Right.
nothing good comes out of that life. You're chasing Satan when you're doing that.
Absolutely. Well,
You know,
actually, what you're doing is you're dancing with them.
I like that. That's a good
That's
term.
what you're doing.
Yeah, I like that.
And people don't realize it. And listen, I love everybody, and like I don't care what you do, but it's kind of hard when they say, "Oh, he's an upstanding guy."
Mm.
Can you swear? I'm like, are you kidding me?
He killed 20 people, but he was a good man.
He was a good guy.
Yeah,
He
he's
never,
a great guy.
he takes care of his family.
Yeah,
I mean, I get that.
but I thought that's what made me a good guy.
Right, because you take care of, but
My wife had the houses, the cars, the furs, the clothes, anything I could give her. My kids had everything, and I thought I was a good dad doing that.
I call it the Carmela Soprano effect.
Yeah.
Like everything's okay as long as she's got a fur coat.
Yeah.
Do what you want. Get a gumati, whatever you want. As long as she
plenty of those.
Yeah, as long as she's got a fur coat, it's all good. So yeah,
But I lost a beautiful woman because of that.
I'm sorry.
You
But
know?
you know what?
Oh, I'm still sorry about it too. And she's still beautiful.
That's nice.
But she's the mother of my kids.
Right.
Great person, great mother. Went through a lot. I put her through hell.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, the effect of being, because on our show,
Yes.
on
Yeah.
the family life, we talk about that
Yeah.
all the time.
It's worse than having a police officer for a husband or a fireman because you're more likely to die than they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
true.
true. And I got to tell you, it's not like this in Sicily. It's not the glamour because people glamorize it because that's what Hollywood did.
Yes,
They
exactly.
glamorized it, and first of all, it's a very few Sicilian Italians that are in that life. It's not there's a very big majority of very educated and even if you're a bricklayer or whatever you do, whatever
See,
your
that's
craft
happening
was.
in this country too now. These kids are getting educated. They're making money in different ways.
Right.
It's not like when we grew up.
Right.
Well, you're younger than me, but when I grew up in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, I was around the wise guys.
Right.
Everything was different.
It was different.
But in Italy, in Sicily, when it started with the Black Hand Mafia, they were vine dressers, they were farmers.
Right.
They were tailors, they were shoemakers.
Right.
These were the main guys.
Well, right.
Yeah,
Well,
besides the
even,
Dons and the
okay,
Capos.
so even today,
Yeah.
because I've been there,
Yeah,
they don't know who they are.
that's how it was supposed to be.
There's no you got the ring on, you're getting in the nice car, you drive it down, you got your gumati and in a fur coat, and you go. It's not like that there. They don't even know who they are because they work in factories. It's very understated living. They
Yeah.
don't do what the Americans did. the American Italians did, the Italian Americans, Sicilian Americans did here.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even know who they are. They might have a name, but they don't know where they are.
Only their bosses and couples know who they are.
That's it.
And that was the
They
secret
don't talk on
behind
the
the law.
phone.
Because the shoe, yeah, no, they won't. And the shoemaker could be the guy that's coming to kill you.
Yeah.
It could be the farmer.
Yeah.
You never knew who was coming.
And I asked about it a little bit with my friend. My friend, he said no, it's all political here now. It's not like back in the day either.
Yeah.
It's into the politics, but you don't see it. It's not like that. But I'll tell you what, I was in Catanizetta, which is where my grandmother, the Palermos, are from.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into the cathedral, and I said to Chicho, I go, I want to walk around. I want to see. He goes, no, I'm going to go. No. He goes, no. Mafioso problem. Andiamo.
Yeah,
Amuni in Sicilian is andiamo. Let's go. Amuni. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. So he knew. I didn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, he's there. Yeah.
So he said no.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But it's not really. It's just not prevalent.
Mm.
It's just not prevalent, and it's just very different. And the little paeses are so peaceful. There's not a lot of crime. I mean, I tend to think, with all this crazy stuff that's going on, like, bring back the mob bosses, please. Get this country under control.
Well, I mean, look at the North End. Us growing up there. Even in our generation, probably, in the 90s, the North End was a safe place.
Yeah.
We patrolled it. We took care of everything. If there was a kid that was a problem in the neighborhood, we go get him, straighten them out, or kick them out, whatever we would do. That's not there anymore.
Right.
Now the North End is just Yuppieville and all these college kids and business people in there. There's still a lot of Italians in there. Don't get me wrong,
Right.
but nothing like before. Nothing like before.
It's not. I mean, there's that good and bad with the mob bosses. I mean, it's that life that you really don't want to live, or you come from. But then there was some sense of order, as well. At least for the rest of us.
Yeah.
If so it's kind of hard, but it's a familiarity. At least for me,
Mm-hmm.
it's a familiarity that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help it. It's just what we knew.
Well, that's, when people ask me how to get involved in the life, I said I was just there. My father was a gangster.
Yeah.
We all grew up like that,
Yeah, it's like if your whole family's in the restaurant business,
Yeah.
then you come up in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
You might venture off, maybe, but it might just be something that you fall into.
Yeah.
And that's it's just what it was. It's the way it was back then. It's not the same anymore. It's not the same. And you know what? If we believe in a higher power, if we believe in the divine, everything works out for everybody's good.
Yeah,
And whatever that is, and even if it feels bad,
Yeah.
in the meantime, the outcome is always better.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
You're
something that's necessary to get through.
It changed my life. It really did. From what I was to what I am now. But they've been picking on me a little because I've been getting a little agitated. But that's from the cigarettes and trying to quit.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I've been a little nasty, and they came at me today,
That's
with
all
all
right.
of them. But that's all right. But as far as like peace in my life, it's a different time now. There is peace in my life. I can go to sleep at night. I don't have to worry about my guys, where this is coming in from, who's paying me, like we said before.
Right.
It's just so much better of a lifestyle. It's not worth it. God didn't create us for all the stress and anxiety and everything else that comes with life. He didn't create us for that.
No.
We bring that upon ourselves, like you said. Back in the old country, they're peaceful.
Right.
They take siestas over there too.
Oh, I love it. That's
You
what
know?
we're gonna be doing that on my retreat. Everybody's taking siesta.
Yeah, but I mean we're gonna flash that up too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that up for you and show everybody about that. Talk a little about that. When is it?
Okay, so I'm offering 2 weeks in September.
Okay.
It's September 14th through the 23rd, or September 28th through October 7th. And this is an opportunity, actually, and I want to say this, it's all inclusive: airfare, lodging, transportation, tours. We have we're having sponsors, little gifts and, the swag bags and things like that.
Oh, nice.
And all your meals, 3 meals a day, along with visiting sacred sites. We'll be doing healing circles, meditations, yoga or a walk, depending, just do something. And I'll be conducting one-on-ones, giving everybody a chance to have soul readings with me. And we have my friend Salvo is going to be giving a cooking lesson. We're going to go to Florio, which is the original. It's in Marsala, Sicily. We're going to have a wine tasting there.
Oh, that's nice.
We're going to
nice.
we're going to go to an organic winery and have dinner. I'm going to do a typical Sunday dinner and host everybody with my Sicilian friends so they get to be part of the community. Every day is siesta. We're going to go to places like Santa Rosalia, which is a very sacred healing site. They have healing holy water, and we're going to do a healing meditation there while we're there, and many other sacred sites. And then we're going to do a little bit more touring. If I'm going to do a day at San Vito lo Capo, the #1 beach in all of Italy. We're going to do a beach day. We're going to do there's this beautiful town called Edice, and we took a gondola to get up there, and I was like, oh, we thought it was a lookout. We turned the corner, and there was an archway with all cobblestones, and it was an entire town at the very top of the mountain. And it's so amazing there, and so we're going to do a scavenger hunt there. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, but it's also going to be transformative. And we have early bird specials, so if you pay in full by June 30th, it's $39.77. Includes airfare.
That's not bad to go to Italy.
Yeah.
Got up on Sicily.
With 3 meals, lodging.
Yeah.
That's Sicilian.
I'm sorry.
That's funny.
I
That's
said
funny.
that. I was like, yeah,
That's funny. My father said it all the time too, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
And, but and so if you decide to do a plan, it's a little bit more money, but you can do it in payments. And so
that'd be nice.
and it's going to be a transformation. And also, if you do the early bird special, I'm going to give everybody a year in my membership community, which is a $400 value. And it's basically, I do healing circles, meditations, daily channeled messages from God, the universe. I do, an weekly card pull for, angel cards. And then also they get follow-up one-on-one with me, which is another $400 value. So
nice.
so there's a lot there, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Wow, that sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds really
So I'm very excited. I have a lot of people interested, and people are a little nervous about traveling. But
good. Well, no, you can't blame. Look at me. I just got over COVID. How can you
me
blame
too.
anybody for going over there?
Right. Well, first of all, Italy is open,
Yeah, I know.
and if you have the vaccine, you don't have to quarantine.
Yeah.
It might change. I know people are a little weird about the vaccine. Me, I don't care. I just want to go. I'm going June 5th, and I'm going to be there for the month, preparing for September.
Okay.
Preparing for September. So, but you don't have to worry about anything. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be totally fine. People who are afraid to fly and are afraid to travel, they're gonna be afraid to travel.
Yeah.
But those are people that will travel and they're not afraid of it. This is something that you want to do.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to discourage them.
Yeah.
I think they should go.
Right. It's
You know.
But I have a travel agent that I'm working with, and he actually has insurance plans that they could buy that in case they got sick, that would help them. They're not a lot of money, a couple $100.
Yeah, that's not.
It's not a lot of money, and every time I travel international, I buy the insurance because if something happens, I want to make sure that I'm covered.
Yeah.
So I do it all the time. I spoke in Dubai in 2018.
Oh, you did.
I did.
It's beautiful there, isn't it?
Oh, it's fabulous. Oh my God, I was in hummus heaven. The food was so good.
Yeah.
And the coffee was amazing. It
Really?
was so great. I spoke to the Global Nursing Conference back in 2018. I rode a camel.
Did you really?
I did a desert safari. Yes.
Wow.
I swam in the Arabian Sea.
Did you really?
I walked right in. It was like 95 degrees. The water. It was
Oh.
unbelievable. It was all salty. It was so nice. Yes, I mean that was one of the best things I did for myself. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're afraid to go there alone?" And I said, "Yeah, but I'm going." I put on my big girl panties and I did it. It was the best experience I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I met people from all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
They were amazing, and I was treated very, very kindly and actually, like royalty.
Wow,
Because
that's nice.
People think they don't treat Americans nice, but
Yeah.
they said I was a state citizen. That's what they called me. It's because you're a state citizen. There was some, they want to make sure that you're treated nice.
Wow.
So
that's nice.
I loved it. It was amazing. So I'll travel.
Yeah.
I'll do it. And I think, but the people are already signed up for like yoga retreats in Greece and Bali and all of that.
Yeah.
And
We're
if you're
down
gonna,
to do it. Yeah.
yeah, if you're gonna do that, come with me. Get on your soul journey.
Well, look, May 29th, they're going to stop the mask on the outside and everything. I
Yeah.
guess maybe some businesses here are still going to, maybe if you're going to stop and shop, I don't know, you got to wear the mask, I don't
Right,
know.
I don't
But I mean, the restrictions are going way down by June, it's going to be all over.
Right. That's what I say.
I already
So-
got one of my shots, I got to go June 8th to get the other one.
Right.
That's it, I'm done
Yeah.
with that.
Right. Yeah. I'm all set. I just got mine on Monday.
Oh, you
My
did?
second one.
Oh,
Yes.
you are your second
Well,
one?
I had to because I'm going to Sicily, so I had to do
Oh,
it.
you better go.
I had to do it, and so I'm just not. I don't live in fear.
No, you can't.
When you live in fear, you're
Yeah.
you're not living. You're dying.
Yeah.
So and that's the life that you lived. Think about that. Even though you might not have been.
I was numb to it, but yeah, right. I
But
mean,
it's a fear of death, fear of somebody's gonna.
fear is a good thing in that life because it keeps you alive.
Right. But it's not really. It's not the way to live.
No, it's not.
And so I don't live that way.
Yeah.
I just do. I mean, I'm afraid of heights. All right, I'm not going to jump out of a plane, but or bungee jump.
See, if I'm afraid of anything, I have to conquer it.
There you go.
That's how I am.
That's the gangster in me.
Yeah.
Taking it over.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is what you gotta do. Always climbing ladders, son.
There you go. Maybe you need to come on retreat.
I need more than a retreat. Before we go on, tell us a little more about Just Steph show and what you're going to be doing on there.
So I had a radio show in Atlanta. So I'm actually looking for a radio home here, but I'm so crazy busy with getting everything else. So that will come because I love the radio and I actually love TV. I offer one-on-one coaching, a coaching package.
Okay.
I have one-time soul readings. So these are all soul journey sessions. And a membership community that is in a group. It's a private group that can support one another and get more of Just Steph.
Yeah.
And then on my show, I speak to all aspects of healthy living for what I coined as second lifers. Where you're a second lifer because you started a new life.
Yeah.
Empty nesters, yes. Yeah. Empty nesters, newly single, and those starting over. And I like to bring on guests who have something of value to bring. So I like to talk to life coaches, restaurateurs, because 50 years ago, the second lifers, like my mother wouldn't have been doing yoga and hot yoga and boxing at 50.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't go. She wouldn't have been dating.
Right.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. So our age group is now doing things that the 20 and 30-year-olds were doing back then.
Yeah.
So, there's like restaurateurs, nightclub owners, life coaches, lawyers, doctors, fitness people, anything like that they have something of value to bring for our age group, for second lifers. And I like to have fun with it.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
Yeah, it's more fun for me. It's just fun. Yeah. I don't like any heavy stuff for my show.
Right.
I deal with that with clients.
We need heavy on our show.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Well,
as long as you're not packing.
No more packing. No more guns. We don't do that no more.
Thank God.
Yeah, no more of that. I gotta thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's fun.
I'm gonna call this Growing Up Sicilian.
Yes.
All right, with Steph Palermo.
Thank you.
All the show.
It's
And
fun.
this was awesome. Thank you so
You're
much.
adorable.
Oh, and you're gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm gonna sign these books.
Sign these books.
Okay.
And when you come back from Italy, I want to do your show on it.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
All right?
absolutely, for sure.
Oh, yeah, and we have one more gift for you before you leave. Nicole's
Okay.
gonna bring it over.
Okay.
These are signed knives that we have up on eBay right now. What was it again,
Nice.
Nicole?
Okay.
What was the Bobby Luisi signed that one?
Signed knives, and it's Mafia memorabilia.
Mafia
I love it.
memorabilia
Yes.
on eBay.
Wait,
Yes.
did you see remember in the Untouchables, it's Sean Connery goes, it's just like a walk to bring a knife to a gunfight.
yeah. That was a great movie.
That's it.
Sean
So-
Connery. That's
I'll be sure to bring the knife with me.
yeah.
That's awesome. So let me just
And the
sign.
cup. The cup is yours.
Oh, I love this. I love gifts.
Yeah.
I love free gifts.
Well, we're getting books. So
We're
we're
getting
happy.
book signed. I'm gonna bring mine.
Nicole, bring your book over.
All right.
I didn't
Do my
finish.
sausage.
I didn't finish.
Oh, all right.
I
Okay.
didn't finish. So are we filming all of this?
Yeah, we're filming this right.
Okay.
We're gonna treasure every minute with you.
You can read that. If you can read it. It says, where there is love, the mountains seem like plains. And that's a Sicilian proverb.
Oh, I like that. Thank you, hon.
That was great, guys.
Okay.
Okay, it's my dear
The only way is up. Ah, nice, huh?
That's the name of my book, but it's so,
I like that. I like
you
that.
know.
Been down so many times, son. Just gotta keep getting up.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I know I've been there in my own way. Okay, we're all set. I got my knife and my cup.
All right. Thank you again.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.